Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. This one's a little more than a bit graphic. So if that's not for you, click off right now. Otherwise, stick around for the rest of the video. This one's sponsored by NordVPN.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
So we brought this cow in, and as you can see, she was incredibly overgrown and clearly in a lot of pain. It's actually bleeding before we even begin. So let's set about and try and make this cow as comfortable as we possibly can. This cow has toe necrosis, and that's why we can see the end of the inner portion of her foot completely exposed to the outside environment. Just imagine the pain a cow like this must be in on a daily basis. Well, it's our job to alleviate that pain and to overcome it as much as we possibly can. Ouch. Let's see what we can do. So let's start by making the inside or the medial claw as stable as we possibly can and checking that there's no real issues with it. Once I'm happy with how the medial claw is looking, it's time to start reducing the size of the lateral claw before we move on to the parts of the trim that require a bit more finesse. So we use the grinding disc to reduce the bulk of the material from this outer claw, but it soon becomes clear that it is far too hazardous to keep using the grinder blade. So instead, we move to the old-fashioned tools. We use the toe nippers. I stopped using the grinder blade when I was so close to that lesion because I want to make sure that I don't harm it in any way. It's completely fine to use that grinder disc because you do have a good view whilst using it. So using it for the bulk of the material is absolutely great. But when I'm in really close to that lesion, I just want to use the nippers and my knife. While the cow's in the crush, all we have in our minds is the welfare for the animal. So sometimes we'll go from knife back to grinder to speed up the job by removing the bulk of the material. And that's exactly what I'm doing right here. It's safe to use it because we're away from the lesion, but it speeds the job up and gets the cow out of the crush much quicker. As you can see, we're taking more height off the medial claw than we normally would, and we're beginning to uncover a bit of a problem. So let's see how much of a problem that really is, and if we can get some blocks attached. So NordVPN are sponsoring this video, and they've supported the channel for quite a few months now, which is awesome because it means I can bring you more and more content. NordVPN is an online virtual private network. In other words, it's a secure hub for your computer, your phone, your laptop, whatever device you're using. That means no one else can track where you are. I use NordVPN all the time on my phone and on my smart TV because it means I can watch all of the programs that you guys in the States get that we don't get. It also means the reverse. So anybody in France, Argentina, the US can watch what we guys here in the UK watch, like Marcella, which is an awesome program on BBC iPlayer right now that me and the wife have just finished watching. But more than that, it gives you true privacy. It means that your details are private and people can't track what it is that you're searching for on the internet. You can get 30 days completely free by visiting nordvpn.com/hoofgp. That'll support the channel, but more than that, it'll give you way more access to all of the titles you've probably never heard of, or some that you have that you never had access to before. So it'll give you much more to watch on Netflix or Amazon or through other online streaming services. Simples. So just go to nordvpn.com/hoofgp, support the channel and get something awesome for yourselves. Now, back to the video. Thankfully, once we've removed all of this loose horn, it turns out the horn that was underneath what was unattached is perfectly sound. So we can glue 2 blocks in place. Now that we've got those blocks in place, we're going to remove all of those jaggedy and sharp edges that are digging into the lesion every time she walks or takes a step. Watch carefully as I make sure I don't cut away any of that live flesh. Imagine if I was to snip that off. That is literally a part of her body which has nerve endings and therefore serious pain implications. To try to remove part of that dorsal wall where it's all cracking and disconnected using the knife alone would need a serious amount of force and pressure, so it's easier and probably more accurate to use the grinder. And that, folks, is as far as we can take this foot. We're going to wrap it with iodine and salicylic acid. The iodine will dry up the lesion and allow new skin to form, and the salicylic acid will kill the outer layer of skin and again allow fresh new horn to grow underneath. And that is this cow trimmed for now. We will check back on her as soon as we're able to and see how she's doing in a few weeks' time.